My life for yours. I am prepared for whatever you wish to teach me. I understand now. I shall practice what you have taught me. My life for... I am prepared for what... I understand now. My life... I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels, until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. It is a choice that can be made by neither one of us. Do not be so quick to meet that which you do not understand. Use the time you have now to grow, to train, and to strengthen yourself. I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between Qatar and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world. I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Qatar, and my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed. Yes, but it was not survival. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained, my master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world, and there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own, and he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy, and I wished to die. To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them. He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Qatar, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me. He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. I do not understand what you mean. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that I will answer what I can. I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same, the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will answer. My master did not cause the end of the planet you speak of. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is this. They believe you are the last of the Jedi. I will. My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well. My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people. My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain. Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this. I will... If you first... Now, imagine its energy, its texture, in tandem with the breathing. And then in your mind, step back from the image and see what remains. There. It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly. It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power, and with it you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it. I will answer... Forgive me, but before you go I must ask, why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me? I must warn you. If you weaken yourself for me, then it will kill you. There is more to the Sith than simply rage or slaughter. There are many kinds of hate, and all of them have the call of the dark side in them. The galaxy is filled with many such evils, and rarely have I seen anything else. I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories, or the planet itself. It is not a subject. My life for...
Hey, General, I want to talk to you. Maybe the others don't know what's happening, but I can see what's going on, and the others have voted too. You can't hide it, General. Just look at your face. I saw other Jedi who looked like you during and after the war. It's that woman. You have to get away from her. She'll destroy you. Just be careful, General. You don't know what she wants, and she's got some goal. I'm sure of it. Was this something you wanted me for? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench.
Ah, you are here. You felt it, did you not? The time to hide your presence is coming to a close, and you will need to increase your training. You are ready. Your training must increase, and there are higher mysteries you must learn. But only you must know the path you will take. I cannot choose it for you. Is it battle that stirs you? To meet an enemy blade upon blade? Such is the way of the greatest of the Sith marauders who seek strength in war and their rage. Or is it the ways of darkness and shadow that you seek? The power that comes from striking unseen and sensing weaknesses in others? The ways of the assassins of the Sith? Or perhaps your way lies with the Sith and the heart of their darkness. To recognize what strength is and bring that strength to those that follow you and those that defy you. The way of a Sith Lord. It is not some great test you require to be what you strive to be. It is only your decision to find that path that matters. From here on, you guide your destiny. But in order to take the next steps, you must face your past and put it to rest. Yes? Have you come with questions? That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength, and through it, your power is enhanced. Let me focus on the crystal for a moment. There, now it is fully in tune with you again. Is there something else you wished? He, if he can truly be called a man any longer, is one of the dark lords that pursues you. I do not think he knows what you are. Not yet. He spared the Miraluka, and that may have been the last shred of feeling that exists within him. Keep his slave close to you. I suspect there was a reason he spared her, and perhaps a reason that she survived when the rest of her people and the Jedi did not. One cannot have power of that magnitude that her master possesses and still think and perceive the universe as we do, as most of us do. I had hoped that you would not have to confront him, but her presence here has changed all that. You will have to meet him in battle. You must be prepared to sacrifice the blinded one. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master. If you have such power, then I would make use of it. There is no need to dirty your hands when you can convince another to drive a blade into their own heart. Oh, you have promise. But wait until you have more years fall upon you, and you will see what a shell your heart will become. It is a technique that is almost as old as the Sith themselves. It is a means of severing connections between life, the Force, and feeding upon the death it causes. It cannot be taught. It can only be gained through instinct, through experiencing its effects firsthand. Yes, and he fed upon its destruction. It will sustain him for a time. Because it is not something that can ever truly be controlled, and it leaves nothing to conquer in its wake. And it rules him, not the other way around. It has its own will, its own instincts. Power? Do you think so? You would be wrong. There is no strength in the hunger he possesses, and the will behind his power is a primal thing. And it devours him as he devours others. His mere presence kills all around him, slowly feeding him. He is already dead. It is simply a question of how many he kills before he falls. Nothing is impossible with the Force. It is an energy that flows through all living things. And like energy, it may be harnessed, channeled, and consumed at times. It may even be a substance that can burn and ignite. Do not think of his power as one would a weapon, or one of your warships of the Republic. It is terrible, but it is still a subtle thing. The sect of assassins that chase you feed on the Force. What he does is simply the pinnacle of what they could achieve in time. And that is why they and their techniques must be wiped out. No one again must experience and learn what her master did. As much as one may use the Force to bolster the wills and strengths of others, the reverse is possible, though not often used. Instead of sending one's will through connections in the Force, instead such connections are drawn upon, fed upon, and drained completely. Then you understand how terrible such a power is, and why it must be ended. It is an empty road to the dark side, and by traveling it, the price is death before one's time. He is a breach in the Force, capable of consuming the lives of those around him. Sometimes the touch is slow, as it is with his crew. It is not something he can direct or focus, much like hunger itself. He is more of a hole in the Force than a living thing. Force sensitives and worlds rich in the Force draw him. The Miraluka world was one such place. That is why where the Jedi gather, Jedi will die. He will feel it, unless they mask their presence. But Qatar called out as a beacon to him, and he could not resist it. And he cares nothing for the Sith, or its teachings, or the Jedi. And when the Jedi are dead, he will feed on the galaxy, the Republic, and eventually consume the Sith as well. There is no future in the empty galaxy he sees, and that is why he must be stopped. The breach must be sealed before his power grows beyond what even we can hope to stop. Perhaps he is bound to her, as I am bound to you. If so, there may be a death served by hers. You must be prepared to sacrifice the Blinded One. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master. Ask. Betrayal, and by a machine that I will not abide. Machines. Always did Revan use them to inflict her will on the galaxy, whether in war or in assassination. Her passion for such tools, for things dead to the Force, defies me. She would have loved a human droid such as you, dead to the Force, a shell that would carry out her orders. It is no matter. It is a device, and now it is broken. Yes? Have you come with... Very well. If you travel with us, Blinded One, then you shall work for your passage on this vessel. Your lightsaber, give it to me.
I shall die before it passes from my hands.
Your lightsaber, give it to me.
The crystal I took from the condensed mist, Sanka.
It is adequate. You are young. Your energy for such things surpasses mine, and your skill is enough that you may teach her the basics of the weapon. There is much she has forgotten.
There's only so much I can teach her.
That fact did not escape me. Now, try to kill her with the single blade. Use no other Force technique, no items, merely the blade. Because you may not always have your right hand. Now do it. This is no Ichani etiquette ritual. Do not ask her. Attack her. Now do it with 2 weapons, 1 in each hand. Again, no items, no Force powers. Let us see what you can do when your hands and mind are divided. No Force techniques other than weapon skill. Let it flow through you. Let the Force fill the cracks in your spirit. Now, divest yourself of your weapons. You, Blinded One, you will keep yours. Let us see what you can do when you have no weapons left to you. Now, attack her. It is enough. There is nothing more for me to teach you. You know as much of battle as I.
My life for your... I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek. The scars are many and the cause is equally so. It is of no importance.
You know, I'm glad I found you again, General. You're right about that. We were together at Malachor. I don't know if anyone else could understand. You getting philosophical on me? I'm here because you found me on Telos and I decided to come along for the ride. Not that I had much choice after we got going. Tired of me already? I was frustrated. Watching the Ithorians getting pushed around by Zerka, I thought I could make a difference, but it was taken away from me. Guess if one planet was good enough for me, why not the galaxy? You just have to know what the circuits look like. That's the way I see things. Traveling with you, I know there's something else in the universe, but I can't do anything about it anyways, so I'll leave it to you to take care of. They might not call you a Jedi anymore, but believe me, you are. It's not the sort of thing that you just stop being. You're stuck with it, just like you're stuck being the General. Was there something you wanted me for? Sorry, General, I'm flat out. I'll see if I can make some more when I get a chance. Something else I can...
Yes? Very well. What is it that... Very well. Sit with me. You have brushed the surface thoughts of another. It is a start. Calm yourself. This time, silence your own thoughts. Keep them still. Imagine the waters of the room of 1,000 fountains, each stream suddenly falling silent and still. Imagine the ice of Telos, cold and smooth as it gathers upon the plateau. Now, stretch out. Feel the ship around you. Strip away the metal and see the souls and minds of those that fill its corridors with more thoughts and dreams and worries than can fill the space of this ship.
As my feet walk from the ashes of Qatar, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
Switch the face of the +1 -1 card. The totals are 9-10. Switch the face of the +2 -2 card. The total is 8-11. Switch.
Your command echoes still, General, and I obey, as I did at Malachor.
As my feet walk from the ashes of Qatar,
Switch the face of the +1
I shall
-1
not
card.
fear,
The totals are
for
9-10.
in fear
Switch the face of the +2
Your command
death.
echoes
card.
still,
The
General,
total is 8
and I obey,
Switch.
as I did at Malachor.
Not now. Focus on my voice.
Malachor.
Now do you hear me? Truly hear me? You have taken the first steps on a much longer road, exile. The droid cannot be read in such a way. As for the alien who served with you in the war, its thoughts are more difficult, requiring many translations in meaning. Often it is better to read their impulses and images than their spoken thoughts. That is why he is deaf to you. I have found his impulses are cold, like a dead weight. His thoughts are black. Indeed. It is strange that I did not. Perhaps. I would not put much weight on such things. Of course there was. It is because Atten was not playing Pazak, yet he counts cards in his head. At times he will list off engine sequencers, memorize the hyperspace routes on the other side of the galaxy, count the ticking in the power couplings even though they are fixed. At other times, he will imagine certain base lusts, certain indignities. It may be Atten is far cleverer than he feigns to be. Or perhaps he is simply a fool. Yes? Very well. Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. Now is not the time to speak of this. Wait until you have more of the galaxy within you, and we shall speak again. Every step on our journey shall bring with it discoveries. With persistence, you shall grow in the Force. And for every planet we reach, all that we touch with our presence, you shall grow, for you will have no choice. Ask. What of them? Perhaps. The Ichani believe that much may be communicated in the motions of battle. It is a picture, a dance against someone trying to describe that motion. I have learned that we do not need to kill her. But if we want one that has truly fallen to the dark side, we should look elsewhere for our allies. I believe she should serve our purposes. She is the doorway that may lead us to her lord if it proves necessary, or bring him to us. That is what I said, and I will gladly turn any such blade pointed at us and send it stabbing into the heart against anyone who dares to harm you. It is good we see this in the same perspective. There are many among the Jedi who would openly object to such things. Ask. And? Did he? And what do you make of that? The Mandalorians were right to I fear, but... Yes? Ah. Yes? Very... Have you done as I asked? Very well. Then know this. Many are the times I meditate in the silence of my chambers. Do you know why I do this? I do this so that I might center myself, listen to the currents of the galaxy. There are others who center themselves by achieving a moving meditation, where operating on the minds of machines achieves a similar calm in one's own mind. Skill does not always draw from the Force, but it is a measure of power nonetheless. It can grant knowledge, help steady oneself when one's thoughts are in chaos, or grant enlightenment. Much can be achieved without the Force, as you know. Life continues, persists, and may be helped or harmed as a result. Now I am tired. Leave me to my meditations. Yes? Very well. The Jedi practice many... You may have already felt others. Very well.
I don't know what that witch did to you, but she's dragging you down into whatever hole she came out of. I'm only saying this because there's still a chance for you to stop this before whatever darkness she brought on you eats you alive.
All right, I tried. But whatever's consuming you, it's affecting everyone else. You may be strong enough to handle it, but the others may not. All right, what did you want to know? Yeah, that's a surprise. Did he say I owed him credits too?
I'm as Atten will ever be. And whoever your trusted informant is, he's right. I did show up on Nar Shaddaa during the Jedi Civil War, along with a lot of other refugees.
No, because you're asking about it. If I wanted to tell you anything, I would have come and told you. Anything else? You know what? I helped you get off Peragus. If I hadn't been there, you wouldn't have even gotten off the administration level. I'm trying to help you. I don't know why I'm bothering. I don't know. I'm not sure I understand it half the time. You know what? Not once have I asked you about the Mandalorian Wars. Not once.
I heard about Duxon. Everyone has. I heard about Serico, and I sure as hell know about Malachor 5.
What makes you think you've got the right to interrogate me on anything? You've got plenty of lives to answer for. All you Jedi do. How did you even live with yourself after Malachor? Is that why you went back to the Jedi Council? Hoping they'd kill you? But Jedi don't kill, do they? At least not their prisoners. Maybe you were counting on it when you went back in chains. So you got off easy. You were exiled, brushed under the cargo ramp, another dirty little Jedi secret. I'll tell you, all those Jedi at Malachor, they deserved it. Every last one of them.
Because Jedi lie, and they manipulate, and every act of charity or kindness they do, you can drag it out squirming into the light and see it for what it is. The galaxy doesn't need Jedi arrogance or Jedi hypocrisy anymore. At least the Sith are honest about what they're killing for. The Jedi are pacifists, except in times of war. They're teachers, except when it comes to telling their students the truth. And when they save you, it's only so you can suffer more. Whatever, just leave me alone. I don't know why I'm
Well, don't get too attached to me. I don't like it. Well, you haven't seen anything yet. I have this habit. I'm a deserter. It's what I do. Served in both of them. Against the Mandalorians, before and after Revan, and again, when Revan declared war on the Jedi. That's just a name. It's what we did that was important. But it was more than that. You were there. You knew how easy it was to hate the Jedi who sat back in the Republic, evaluating the threat, and watched us die against the Mandalorians. I did, up until the Republic officers began to betray their oaths to the Republic and side with Revan, Admiral Kareth, Mon Halan, General Darad, and all the rest.
Right after that final battle at Malachor, I was right there with the rest of the defectors, because it was the right thing to do.
The Mandalorians were slaughtering us by the millions. The millions. You were at Serico, when they turned the Starib cities into glass craters. At Duro, when basilisk war droids rained like meteors onto the orbiting cities. And when the Mandalorians set fire to the Zoxan plains on Ares III, the fires that still burn, without the Jedi who turned on the Council, without you, the Republic would have lost the war, and we would all be Mandalorian slaves or corpses. We were loyal to Revan. That was enough. She saved us.
After Malachor, after the Mandalorian Wars, that's when the Sith teachings started spreading through the ranks.
We knew where our loyalties lay. To the Jedi who came to help us, not the ones who sat back on Dantooine and Coruscant, watching us die.
So when those same Jedi who watched us die decided to start fighting us during the Jedi Civil War, we fought back. I fought back.
I didn't fight Jedi. I killed them. A lot of them. People say killing Jedi is hard. It's not. You just have to be smart about it. No blasters, no getting close to them, no attacking them directly when you can gun down their allies instead. There's ways of gassing them, drugging them, making them lose control, torturing them. I was really good at it.
What's worse is that killing them wasn't the best thing. Making them fall. Making them see our side of it. That was the best.
I taught myself techniques. It's hard for Jedi to sense what you're really thinking if you throw up walls of strong emotions and feelings. Lust, impatience, cowardice. Most Jedi awareness doesn't cruise beyond the surface feelings to see what's deeper. And I was good at that, throwing up walls. And my superiors knew it. Sometimes the Jedi on our side wouldn't even realize I was there. Yeah, I had a talent for it. More like instinct. I wasn't the only one. I know you left at the Mandalorian Wars, so you don't know much about what went on behind the scenes in the Jedi Civil War. But Revan understood one thing. The real battle was going to be fought between the Jedi on both sides. That was the only battle that mattered. Whoever had the most, the strongest Jedi were going to win the Civil War. If Revan couldn't convert Jedi, Revan would kill them. So Revan trained elite Sith units into assassination squads, whose duty was to go out and capture enemy Jedi. I was in one of the special units trained to do this.
Yeah, Revan had plans for all Jedi. I think it was important that the Jedi see her side of things. The Sith teachings. Revan wanted to break them, and then have them join her.
One day, I decided not to do it anymore, so I left. Ended up on Nar Shaddaa, became someone else. I didn't think you would, after Malachor, but it was a chance. I guess I was just tired of keeping it in. And I've been with you only a short time, enough to know that as soon as someone signs on with you, they haven't got long to live. You got history, and anyone who travels with you doesn't. And maybe I want somebody to know who I was in case a story needs to be set straight. Maybe you understand. Well, there was a woman. A Jedi. She gave her life for mine.
It wasn't a mission. She sought me out. She said she had come to save me.
She was lying, of course. Or I think she was. It doesn't matter. She told enough truth to get my attention. She said that Revan was doing something terrible to Jedi within the unknown regions. That when we captured Jedi, they were sent to a place designed to break them. And that anyone in her service who showed any ability with the Force was sent there too, to turn them, to break them into dark Jedi, or assassins trained to kill Jedi. She said that's what would happen to me, that I had the Force inside me. That's why I was so good at killing Jedi. And that when the Sith learned of it, there would be no escape, no turning back. I would become an instrument of the dark side, forever. I had heard talk in the ranks, troops vanishing. I knew what she meant, but I didn't believe her, or want to believe her. I did what I did with all Jedi. I hurt her. I hurt her a lot. And then, right when I thought she couldn't take any more, she showed me the Force, in my head.
And I felt everything she felt. And I heard just an echo of what the Force was, and how what I was doing, I think I loved her. But it wasn't that kind of love. It was the kind of love where you're willing to give up everything for someone you don't even know. I killed her for crawling in my head, for showing me that. But before she opened her mind to mine, my only thought was that I would love to kill her. And at the end, I killed her because I loved her. In the end, she sacrificed herself to keep my secret, to prevent the Sith from knowing about that touch of the Force inside me. She wasted her life to save me. Me.
And I felt her die when she opened her mind. I've killed Jedi, like I said, but I was never there to feel it, to be on the receiving end. And after that, I couldn't stop feeling things. Before, guilt, lust, impatience. It had been orchestrated to get close. Now it all just kept tumbling out, and I couldn't keep doing what I was doing. So I left. I fled with the displaced war veterans to Nar Shaddaa. I lost myself there, until the war came to an end. I wanted no more of Jedi, or Dark Jedi, or the Force. I just wanted to be left alone.
And then, I met you on Paragus.
And I thought maybe she had saved me so that I could help you. And if I can't, then I have to try. It didn't feel that way, though. It was different.
But what she said, if I had remained, they would have turned me into something else.
But why would she die for me? And the feeling, that love?
You're right. I didn't think of it like that. But she tricked me. Another Jedi trick. More Jedi hypocrisy like the others.
I'm tired of Jedi crawling in my head. I'm tired of not knowing who I am anymore. I will follow you to hell and back. I will do whatever you ask, and your enemies shall be mine. Once, I was shown the Force. I heard it, I felt it, and it was used to weaken me.
I know that turning away from it was her plan for me, and I will not walk that path any longer. I want to learn how to use the Force, as I was meant to, and there will be no place in the galaxy where Jedi or Sith can hide from me.
Do not discount me. I can do whatever task you ask. Kill anyone you want to prove myself. You have only to name it. Then I will await your decision. You have heard my request, and that is enough. All right, what did you want to know?
Something up?
Passes the time. It's better than listing off engine sequencers, memorizing hyperspace routes, or counting ticks in the power couplings.
Of course it's fixed. And that's why you should count the ticking in the power coupling, too.
Why do I play Pazak? All right, I'll show you. Good match. Now, what are you thinking about right now? Fair enough. But that's why I play Pazak in my head. Because if you don't, you've left the door open, and anyone could walk right in.
Nothing. I'm just someone who plays Pazak in his head.
But while I'm doing that, it's a lot harder for someone to walk in.
No, I can only teach you to play Pazak. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Good. Now you understand. All right, I'll deal then. If you're ever fighting someone who has the power over your mind, whether light or dark, play Pazak. Start listing hyperspace routes, recite engine sequencers, and when they try to use their powers on you, suddenly it's not as easy as they thought.
Because you'll be right here with me, playing Pazak, where they can't reach you.
Yes? Have you? Ah. Yes? Ah. No.
Something up?
Once, a Jedi showed me the Force. I heard it. I felt it. At the time, there was too much pain to confront it. Because if I did, it meant I would be changed into something else. Now, I'm not afraid of it anymore. And I think that by learning how to use it, I can help protect you. Or at least buy you some time when disaster comes screaming in.
I want to learn how to use the Force. I want to learn how to use the Force to help you.
What must I do? Is there some ritual, or...
Something up?
Alright, I'm game. What did you want to show me? Alright, I think I've got it. I'll try to practice it when I get the chance.
Something up?
Well, you've got that look in your eye, so who am I to argue? Alright, I think I've got...
Something up?
Alright. But I tell you, I think you're carrying this teacher thing too far. Alright, I think I've got it. I'll try to practice it when I get the chance.
Something up?
Oh yeah? Alright, let me have it. Alright, I think I've got it. I'll try to practice it when I get the chance.
Something up?